It's your buddy Chuck Johnson, aka Kid Thunder, back again with another video for you. Today, I can honestly say that I'm a little fed up. I was watching I was on the internet not too long ago, and I was looking at news articles, and this happened on, I believe, like yesterday. It was talking about a St. Louis teenager where he was killed by police, obviously sparked protests, and they were violent ones. Here's what I want to know. This guy was about 18 years old, a high school graduate. His name was Mansur Ball-Bey, basically. And he was shot after police say he tried to run during the execution for a search warrant and pointed a stolen gun with an extended magazine at them, according to the Daily News. Now, of course, there goes the protesters always talking about that he didn't do nothing. What are my reactions to it? I'll tell you when I show this video clip. Roll it.
St. Louis teen that was shot by police was supposed to start college next week. 18-year-old Mansur Ball-Bey was shot after police say he tried to run during the execution of a search warrant and pointed a stolen gun with an extended magazine at two cops.
There were two officers in the alley. Both officers fired. Right now it appears one officer fired one shot, the other fired three shots. The suspect was struck. He dropped his gun and continued to run through a gangway until he collapsed in front of 1233 Walton here on this street.
Officers say they found crack cocaine and stolen guns at the scene in a crime-riddled neighborhood. The distraught family said they could not believe the police account because Ball-Bey was not capable of those crimes. He had just graduated from high school, held a steady job, and was heading to college. His cousin wrote on Facebook Ball-Bey had no criminal background, adding that the police shot the wrong person. According to family accounts, Ball-Bey stopped by an aunt's house on his way home from his part-time job at FedEx and was met by police in an unmarked car. His cousin said the family believes Ball-Bey was trying to get away and the police shot him, but noted the family doesn't know the facts yet.
One, the guy was literally at the wrong place at the wrong time. Here's my thing. If you end up hanging around with the wrong type of people, that could obviously result in big trouble. The second reason I find behind this whole fiasco is this. Why in the flying flip would you think it's a good idea to point a gun, especially a stolen gun, at a police officer? That's a guaranteed way of getting a bullet up your rear end. And you know what? I'm so sick and tired of these pro-black sons of bitches. I'm so sick and tired of these race-baiting assholes, including you, Al Sharpton. I'm looking at your AIDS-infected, face too, motherfucker. I'm sick of him, along with the mainstream media, trying to promote, perpetuate, and propagate hatred on this. And you know what? We got this anti-cop society going on in this country right now, and it's a damn shame that we're having it. Look, as I've said in plenty of other videos, time and time before, yes, I understand that that police brutality and cops abusing their authorities. Yes, I understand all of that exists. I understand, but in a case like this, I'm afraid I'm not going to buy it. And when his family talking about that this guy was a good guy, if he was such a good guy, why the hell would he call himself being at a place where, say for instance, like, is a lot of pretty much being at a crack house. Come on now. And the most appalling part is this. This young kid was working part-time at FedEx. He had a part-time job before he was about to head to college. Think about it. People don't think. God gave you the ability to think. God gave you the ability to use your head, to use your brain. I understand this video fiasco right here. This fiasco right here that I'm seeing, that I've witnessed, is basically what I call stupid. And you want to go on and preach and protest Black Lives Matter? Hands up, don't shoot? Give me a break. If they do matter, you wouldn't be killing each other. Oh, that reminds me. What about that 8-year-old girl that was shot in Ferguson? I bet you sons of bitches ain't out there protesting on that. I bet Al Sharpton ain't talking about something like that. But you love to promote and talk about we want justice for a damn criminal, for a damn idiot who called himself being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And on top of that, calling himself pointing a gun at a damn police officer. The Bible says you live by the sword, you die by it. Now let's see what Sheriff David Clarke has to say about this, because I think I can agree with what he said.
Well, I would like to think that there is, but I haven't seen any indication of it, because this whole Black Lives Matter movement is dominating the conversation. They're dominating the stage right now. They're trying to make this about the police. The police are one of the few things that's right in St. Louis, Missouri. One of the few things that's right in Ferguson, Missouri. And until the mainstream media, because they've been the propaganda wing for this movement, until the liberal mainstream media stops fanning the flames of racial division and stops giving the microphone, the stage, if you will, to this mob, they're going to continue to drown out the people who really need to step up and who really can make a difference in the American ghetto. Here's a legitimate issue that I see. The police are authority figures in the community. Whether people like it or not, they are authority figures, and you have to treat them with respect. Young black men are going to have to realize that authority figures have to be respected. You cannot point a gun at a police officer and expect nothing to happen. You cannot, you shall not, you will not point a firearm at a law enforcement officer. So the other things that are talked about, Senator, I'm not seeing any data to suggest that any of that is true. The use of force by police across the nation is down considerably and has been over the last 10 years.
You know what? I think I get the whole picture. And Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke, I pretty much agree with that entire statement. You know what's the problem with many of us, particularly us black people? You always want to say that, the police are mistreating us. You know what? Take it from me. When I lived in Chicago, and I was like in my early to mid 20s, first time I got stopped by the police, 24 years old. I was walking home late at night, getting off the bus. A squad car pulled up. I jumped, I ran, I was scared. I did not know who they were. Yes, they put me in handcuffs and they put me inside of a squad car. All they ever did was basically question me. Question me as if I was pretty much a young teenager, who was obviously who they thought I was on curfew. I was past curfew or something like that. But at the very end, did I comply? Yes, you damn right I did. Because if I didn't, I'd have been dead and gone. I wouldn't be making this video right now. Second time, This happened April 1st, April of 2013. Same situation. I was walking home late at night. And you know what? He passed on. Third time. Last year, 2014. I was getting off work at night. Another officer went along. You see, I'm so sick of this whole thing about us having so much hate and disdain for the police. Yes, I know a few other people that's been stopped by police before, and at the same time, they respect them. They may not like what they do, but at the same time, they respect them. And I'm going to say this. You know, of course, I'll admit I've seen the movie Straight Outta Compton last week, but I'm not here to try to promote it. But at the same time, I'm going to say this verbatim. Do you really think, you know, things like this is what happens when you call the cops and F the police is going to get you far? You ask that question. You think that you're going to let a criminal that you know get out of the joint again just so they can do more crime? I'll let you answer that question right there. Do you really think that not reporting all the crime to the police in your own neighborhoods, where you know your neighborhood is more jacked up and more violent, you think that not reporting any crime to the police is going to solve your neighborhood? You answered that question. If you have so much hate and disdain for the police, why don't you police yourselves? But I guarantee you that it will not get any far. I guarantee you that. Police are there to do one major thing: serve and protect. They do not want to intentionally kill anybody. They do not want to see that, oh, there goes a black guy, and all of a sudden pull out their piece and fire at them. Like I've said numerous times in plenty of other videos, probable cause has to take effect when it comes to a police involved shooting. And with this guy over in St. Louis who was shot by the cop for calling himself pulling out a firearm towards the policeman over there, unfortunately he brought himself to his own death. And it's funny that this happened like a week and a half, pretty much a year and almost a little over a week and a half after Mike Brown's death. This is a real reason why I, being an African American, do not support or buy into the Black Lives Matter movement. If Black lives really mattered, you would stop killing each other. If Black lives really mattered, stop going to Planned Parenthood so you can kill off your babies. It's bad enough in 2015 African Americans cannot take responsibility. And you know what? And as of recent history, you know, with this whole race baiting rigmarole, Black Lives Matter crap, I think I am very sick and tired of talking about race relations. This whole race baiting bullshit is getting way too out of hand, and I'm so very sick and tired of it. You know what, black people, I'm going to tell you this verbatim. If you screw up in life, ain't nobody else's fault. You played yourself, as what rapper Ice-T had said years ago. Oh yeah, while I'm at it, let's go on. I was raised by a single mother. I'm not going to lie to you all. I'm going to be very honest and straightforward. I also lived in one of the worst neighborhoods when I lived in Chicago as well. But you know what? Guess what? I got the fuck out of there. because I saw no particular improvement there. I was so sick of hearing, and you know what? At the same time, I wanted to look for better opportunity in a completely new environment. Now I live in a more diverse environment. I found my opportunity, and you know what? Things are going good for me. So I'm not going to hold back and give anybody excuses. And to Al Sharpton, take your no good, stinking, race baiting, ugly, AIDS infested ass and sit the fuck down somewhere, because you, my friend, do not give two flying fucks about black people at all. And to all you black people who follow that AIDS infected son of a bitch, I don't feel sorry for you at all. This is Chuck Johnson, aka Kid Thunder, signing off. I'm out of this bit.